Hey guys, this is the video I've been wanting to make for a long time. For a while there, we couldn't get ammo, and now there's ammo all over the stores, all over the shelves, but it's at a really high price and it costs a fortune to shoot a bunch. So the question is, how do we train effectively without spending a fortune on ammo? And with that, I've got 7 different tips, methods, techniques, tools that I want to go over with you real quick today. This is going to be a short video, as short as I can make it. Anyway, with going over all these different things, I can go into more depth with some of these later on in other videos. If there's something that you guys want to know more about, just leave a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to know more about down there. We're going to break this down into 2 different categories. We've got the no ammo category and we've got the cheap ammo category. Diving right in, the no ammo category, number 1 on the list is going to be dry practice. I probably lost half of you viewers right now. Those of you who did stay, thank you. You know as well as I know that dry practice is a very good tool. Dry practice is very, very affordable. In fact, it doesn't cost anything if you already own your own gun. With dry practice, we can do things like practicing in and out of the holster, sight alignment, trigger presses. We can practice movement, working from behind cover and things like that. Now, if you want to take that a step further, you can do things like get a dry fire magazine. Okay, they sell these things online. You can get them for Glocks and SIGs and M&Ps. So this is a dry fire magazine. It's basically something that takes place of an actual magazine. So with the dry fire magazine inside the gun, it allows you to do these trigger presses and will reset for you, allowing you to take multiple presses without having to cycle the slide each time. The dry fire mags will run you about $99 and up, depending on what other features you want to add to them. Now, the big thing with dry practice is you need to make sure that you're doing it safe. You need to make sure you follow the 4 firearm rules of safety. You need to make sure you have a good suitable backstop. You need to make sure that there's no ammo anywhere around that can be put in the gun. Okay? Moving on to number 2, we're going to talk about Mantis X. Mantis X takes your dry practice up another notch in that it will track your movement as you press the trigger and then provide feedback on how well you did. The way Mantis X works is it's a piece that attaches to the front rails of your gun right here, or you can attach it to the base plate of a magazine with an adapter. You'll run an app called Mantis X on your phone, and this device will sync up with your phone and it will track your movements as you press that trigger. The great thing about this is it gives you real-time diagnostics. So every time you rack that slide and you press that trigger, it will give you feedback on how well you did on that shot. Again, you need to make sure that you follow the 4 firearm rules of safety. You need to make sure that you do this with a suitable backstop and that there's no ammo anywhere near your training area. I have a magazine that's dedicated for dry practice. There are no internals in it, so I can't put any ammunition in it. It won't feed. And it has a base plate on here that I can attach my Mantis X to, so I can use it for drawing in and out of the holster. The Mantis X starts at $99, but goes up to $249, depending on what you want as far as different models they have, different features, and things like that. Overall, it's a great buy. It will significantly improve your shooting within the first 30 minutes of you using it. They have things that you can do on there, different drills, and it'll track your performance over a period of time. You can compete with others through the app, things like that. I see a coyote out there, right out there. Moving on to the next category, we're going to talk about laser trainers. This is a little bit more broad, so I don't have any one particular tool with this. I'm going to talk about a couple. So there's 7-ish different things I'm going to talk about here, and this is just one category. So this is going to be category number 3, laser trainers, and this category is a little bit broad, and it's going to cover a couple different things here. Laser trainers will take your dry practice up yet another notch in that it'll allow you to actually see shot placement on your target. Again, have a suitable backstop. The 4 rules still apply. So when we're talking about laser trainers, we could be talking about something as simple as this product here. This is called Pink Rhino. This is also offered by the same company that builds Mantis X. And it's essentially just this laser cartridge that goes inside your gun in place of an actual live round. And for every press of the trigger and strike of the firing pin, it'll project a laser out on your target. It's just a little brass cartridge with the laser inside and a button on the back. Something like this costs as little as $40 and can provide a lot of training for you. So if we want to take laser trainers yet a little bit further up and get a little bit more benefit than just projecting a dot, there's something also called Laser Training Academy, also by Mantis, where we have different targets that we can use. There's another app on your phone. The phone will read the target while you're shooting at it with the laser, and it'll keep track of your scores for you. The Laser Training Academy comes with a whole stack of targets here, and then also comes with the pink rhino, so you don't have to buy this separately. That sells for about $99. Something else I like to use with my laser training is something called this laser light target. This here is a reactive target. When the laser hits the sensor, it reacts with the chime. These sell for, I think, $125 for a pair of them. I'll set these up around the house or around the basement. I'll use these in my dry practice along with the laser, and I can get some distance out of it. Next on the list of laser trainers was one I just showed you, but I didn't cover yet. It's called a SIRT pistol. Now this here is very similar to a Glock in size and feel. It works inside my Glock 17 and my 19X holster. It does not have a slide that reciprocates on it, but you can take the magazine out and you can practice reloads. This will project a laser out the tip of the muzzle every time I press the trigger, and the trigger will automatically reset for me. This is a really good trainer. It allows for the trigger reset. It feels very much like the same weight as a Glock. It works inside my holster, so I can practice my draws. I can practice my aim. I can practice my sight alignment. I can practice my trigger presses. I can do this at distance, and I can also do this with rapid presses. This sold for somewhere around $300. I don't remember exactly how much I paid. I bought this during COVID, and this was a great training tool. I was able to use this in my basement to get a lot of training done, and I use this in conjunction with the Mantis Laser Training Academy that I showed you earlier too. So next on the list, still in the laser trainer category, we're going to talk about Mantis Blackbeard. This is used for laser training and trigger reset with your AR. The great thing about this is this allows you to train with your actual AR rifle, and it takes the place of both the magazine and the bolt, so there's no way that this gun can fire right now. With the Mantis Blackbeard installed inside my rifle, I can simply keep pressing the trigger and it'll keep resetting it for me, along with projecting a laser out the end of the barrel that I can use with things like the Laser Training Academy, my laser light target reactor, other things like that. There's two different models you can get. There's the Blackbeard and the Blackbeard X, both of which will do the trigger reset and projecting the laser out the barrel. The difference being the Blackbeard X will also sync up with the Mantis X app that you run on your phone for the training drills and the tracking and coaching and things like that. Depending on what features you want, the Blackbeard X is about $319, whereas the original Blackbeard's only $219. When we're talking about spending $200 or $300 on things like the SIRT pistol or the Blackbeard, it sounds like a lot of money initially, and it is an investment, but it's still less than the cost of a case of ammo. And I have gotten thousands upon thousands of trigger presses and reps out of my Mantis X and out of the SIRT pistol. So it was definitely money well spent. With that, now we're going to move into our live round cheap ammo category. Number 4 on the list is going to be slow fire and short loading your magazines. Slow down when you shoot. Don't fully load your magazines and then send all that lead down range. Load your magazines with 4, 5, 6 rounds at a time, and be very deliberate about the training that you use that ammo for. By short loading your magazines, you will slow down and you will get a lot more beneficial training with a lot less ammo. We also want to have a plan when we go to the range. What are we going to do? What are our drills going to be? Make sure you have a specific plan and specific drills that you want to work through at your range instead of just going there and just burning ammo. We can practice more repetitions of coming out of the holster or bringing the rifle up to our shoulder. Take those 4, 5, 6 rounds. We can practice kneeling. We can practice going prone. We can practice movement. We can practice using cover. I personally short load almost all my magazines whenever I'm going through my training. And I'll also incorporate things like dry fire, dry practice, along with my actual live fire training, mix them up a little bit, do some dry reps, then do some live reps, allowing me to spend more time in the range, doing what I enjoy doing, and also getting more training without having to spend a fortune. Okay, moving on to tip number 5, 22 long rifle conversion kits. There's a couple of different things that we can talk about there. One of them being the CMMG 22 long rifle conversion kit for an AR. This allows you to replace your bolt with your regular 223 5.56 bolt and replace your magazine with one that shoots 22 long rifle. This allows you to shoot 22 long rifle out of your rifle, so you can still practice your rifle, your stock, your sights, your sling, things like that, only you're shooting 22 instead of full price 223 ammo. The CMMG kit starts at about $170 for a bolt and magazine, And then they have some that have multiple magazine kits, and they're just under $200. Another 22 long rifle conversion kit that I highly recommend is the Advantage Arms 22 long rifle kit right here. It basically consists of a slide, a barrel, and then a recoil spring along with a magazine that shoots 22 long rifle. The Advantage Arms conversion kit slides right onto your regular Glock lower, so you can use your pistol with this conversion kit to fire 22 long rifle ammo. They make conversion kits for Glock, 1911s, XDs. The conversion kits start at $265 depending on the model and the features, but you can save a lot of money long term by using this and making this investment in shooting 22 long rifle as opposed to shooting full power 9mm, 45, whatever it is you're shooting. I personally have shot over 10,000 rounds through my conversion kit, and it still shoots great. Moving on to number 6, now we're going to talk about dedicated 22 long rifle pistols and rifles. There's lots of different 22s out there that you can use for training and practicing and shooting and just having fun. I liked my conversion kit so much so that I ended up buying just a lower to go with this, so this has become my dedicated 22 pistol. It's great because it fits in the same holster as my regular 19X and my 17, so I can use this interchangeably as far as my holster goes and my magazine holsters and things like that. Glock does make a 22 caliber model now, and there's lots of other 22s out there from Walther and Taurus and Sig and you name it. There's also pistols like this from Ruger. You've got revolvers like this. Just about everybody out there has their own 22 caliber pistols, and those are a really good way to shoot more for a lot less money and get some good training. We can also talk about dedicated 22s in the AR platform. This one being the M&P 1522. It's a great rifle, functions very much like a regular AR, only it shoots 22 caliber ammo. I've also got something like this here, where this is an actual AR, but it's only calibered in 22. It's got a 22 long rifle barrel in it, a 22 long rifle bolt, and then a 22 long rifle magazine here. Functions just like a regular AR. You can set it up however you want with different handguards, with different stocks, with different sights or a scope, different muzzle brakes if you choose. Only it shoots 22 caliber instead of the 223 or the 5.56, saving you tons of money. And it's a lot of fun. You can also get 22 caliber AKs, 22 caliber revolvers, 22 caliber lever actions, bolt actions, you name it. There's all kinds of 22s out there. And it's a great way to shoot a lot more, save a lot of money, and still get some good training in. So that brings us to number 7 on the list, which is airsoft and BB gun replicas. These are a really great training tool because a lot of them are very much the same size, weight, and dimensions as the actual real firearm. This one here is a Glock 19X replica in airsoft. It's CO2 powered. It has a blowback feature on it, so the slide does cycle as you fire the gun. The CO2 cartridge gets installed inside the magazine and allows you to practice reloads. And this is very much like my actual Glock 19X, so much so that it fits exactly in my holster, feels very much like the same weight as my pistol, and allows me to get some really good training without spending a lot of money. There's literally hundreds of different types of airsoft and BB gun replicas out there. You can get things like AKs, even with actual like real wood furniture on them. There's a very large variety of AR type models that you can get. Again, you can put your own scopes on there. You can change out a lot of the handguards on some of them, put flashlights on there, things like that. There is an initial investment, just like the other things, of $200 to $300 depending on the model you want, how realistic you want it to be as far as weight, construction, whether it's plastic versus metal, things like that. But once you make that initial investment, then we're talking literally less than 1 cent per trigger press to use this in training. We're talking some really cheap training because we're talking literally like 5,000 pellets for under $20. I mean, you can't beat that. Airsoft and BB guns might open up more areas that you can go to train too. Not necessarily on a shooting range, but maybe somebody who owns some property or down in your basement or in your garage, things like that. So what I'm saying is don't discount airsoft and BB guns as far as using it as a training tool. There's a lot of really good training you can get. I mentioned that I use my same holster with my 19X. I can practice my draws working in and out of the holster. I can practice my sight alignment. I can practice moving. I can practice from behind cover. With the rifles, we can practice mounting the rifle. We can practice kneeling. We can practice going to prone, movement, again from around cover, all sorts of things. But just because they're airsoft or BB guns doesn't mean you can treat them differently. You still need to follow the 4 firearm safety rules, and you still need to wear safety glasses because they still can do some damage. And so there you have it, guys. the 7 ways that I train more affordably. I tried to keep this video as short as possible, but still cover a lot of different tools and techniques and things like that. Thanks for watching, especially those of you that stayed at the end. I really do appreciate it. I hope this has been helpful and informative for you. Let me know down in the comments if you liked this video. Let me know which one of these was your favorite tool or tip that I mentioned, or maybe there's something that you'd like to learn more about, or maybe you want to learn more about like the pros and cons, like the conversion kits, the pros and cons to those, and the pros and cons to the lasers and the airsoft, things like that. Let me know down in the comments below. So until then, again, I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.